This summer, football's biggest stars could be on the move. Some players have become impossible to ignore. Some clubs are preparing huge offers, and some transfers could completely change the balance of European football. From rising stars to established superstars, these are the 10 biggest transfer stories happening right now. But here's the interesting part. Number 1 on this list is a player whose future could create the biggest shock of the entire window. Let's begin. Coming in at number 10, Ademola Lookman is a perfect example of how quickly football can change. Not long ago, he was a player trying to find consistency. Now some of Europe's biggest clubs are watching his situation closely. The interesting part is that clubs aren't interested because of one single moment. They are looking at the complete player he has become, someone who can create chances, attack space, and deliver when matches become difficult. His performances for Nigeria showed that he could handle the pressure when the entire country was watching. A fee around 55 million euros has been mentioned, but in situations like this, timing could matter more than money. The first serious move could decide where this story goes next. Moving on to number 9. Some transfer stories disappear after a few weeks. Nico Williams' name has done the opposite. Barcelona's interest in the Spanish winger has been one of the biggest talking points of the window. The reason is simple: they are searching for a player who can bring speed, creativity, and unpredictability to their attack. During the tournament, Nico looked comfortable playing against the best teams in the world. He didn't look like a young player trying to prove himself. He looked like someone already ready for a bigger stage. The numbers involved are not small. A deal around 70 million euros would require serious planning, especially for a club managing its finances carefully. That's why Barcelona may have to wait before turning interest into a real deal. Next on our list, AC Milan have a problem that many clubs would love to have. What do you do when your best player becomes one of Europe's most wanted attackers? Rafael Leão is not just valuable because of goals. His ability to beat defenders, carry the ball forward, and create danger from nothing makes him extremely difficult to replace. That is why clubs like Bayern Munich are keeping a close eye on his situation. Milan know exactly what they have, and convincing them to let him leave would require a huge offer. A figure close to 100 million euros is expected to be the kind of number that starts serious conversations. His performances for Portugal only strengthened his position among Europe's elite attackers. At number 7, talent gets you noticed. Decision-making gets you trusted. That difference is exactly why Xavi Simons has become such an attractive player for top clubs. Scouts have always known about his technical ability. The bigger question was whether he could influence matches when the pressure increased. His performances for the Netherlands answered many of those questions. He looked calm, confident, and comfortable playing against elite opposition. Chelsea have emerged as one of the clubs interested in his profile. And a valuation around 80 million euros shows how highly he is rated. For a player still developing, that price tells you everything about the expectations surrounding him. Entering the top 6. For years, Arsenal have searched for a striker who can make the difference in the biggest games. Viktor Gyökeres is one of the names that fits exactly what they need. The Swedish forward has built his reputation through goals, but the reason clubs want him goes beyond statistics. He combines physical strength with intelligent movement, a combination that is difficult to find. When the pressure arrived, Gyökeres looked like a player who belonged there. Sporting know they have a special striker, which means any interested club will need a very serious offer. A figure around 85 million euros has been discussed. The question is no longer whether Gyökeres can play at the highest level. The question is, which club is willing to make him the center of their project? Moving into the top 5, Randal Kolo Muani has taken a different path compared to many of Europe's top forwards. He was not always the player everyone was talking about, but step by step, he built a reputation as an attacker who can handle pressure. France have always had many attacking options, so earning the trust of the national team is never easy. Kolo Muani's biggest strength is his ability to create problems for defenders. His movement, his speed, and his finishing make him a valuable option for any top club. Several teams looking for attacking reinforcements have shown interest, with a possible deal being valued around 75 million euros. The next step could decide whether Kolo Muani moves from being highly respected to becoming one of Europe's most wanted forwards. At number 4, Crystal Palace have a situation that every smaller club dreams of, but also fears. They have developed a player who is now attracting attention from bigger teams. That player is Eberechi Eze. What makes Eze different is not only his ability with the ball, it is the way he controls the game. He can slow the match down, find spaces, and create chances when defenders think they have everything under control. England's tournament run gave more fans the chance to see what he can offer at the highest level. Now, clubs looking for creativity are watching his situation carefully. A valuation around 70 million euros shows how much his status has grown. For Crystal Palace, the challenge is not finding a buyer, it is finding someone who can replace what Eze brings. Next comes number 3, 85 million euros. That is the kind of price tag that immediately creates pressure. But for Benjamin Eko, it also shows how highly clubs rate his potential. The Slovenian striker has many qualities that are difficult to find in one player: height, power, movement, and the ability to finish chances. The biggest clubs in Europe are already watching his progress closely, because signing a young striker is always a gamble, but some clubs believe Eko could be the type of player who leads their attack for many years. The decision now is not only about money, it is about choosing the right place for the next stage of his career. Entering the final 2, Newcastle don't need to sell Alexander Isak, and that single fact changes everything about this transfer story. When a club is not under pressure to negotiate, the situation becomes much more difficult for interested teams. Isak has developed into one of the most complete forwards in Europe. His movement, his technique, and his finishing ability make him a nightmare for defenders. His performances on the international stage only reminded everyone why top clubs continue to watch him. But Newcastle hold the advantage. Any serious approach would likely need to go beyond 100 million euros. And even then, the biggest question would be whether Newcastle actually want to let him go. And finally, the number 1 transfer story. Real Madrid rarely find themselves in a situation like this. A player they trust, a player who has delivered in important moments, and a player whose future is suddenly being discussed everywhere. That player is Rodrygo. The Brazilian has already experienced the pressure of playing for the biggest club in football. He has scored in huge matches, handled difficult moments, and earned his place at Madrid. Now, every important performance only gives clubs another reason to ask the same question: could Rodrygo really become available? A transfer involving him would not just be about money, it would be about whether another club can convince Real Madrid to give up a player they still value highly. The transfer window has only just begun, and by the time you're watching this, one of these rumors could already be reality. Now I want to hear from you. Which transfer do you think is most likely to happen, and which one would completely shock the football world? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.